Hello, Sports Recap fam. I'm here to I'm going to rehash the Idaho game, and then I'll talk about the Virginia Tech game. Um, there's not a lot talking about this Idaho game. I think the score really tells you what happened. UNC 66, Idaho nothing. UNC had 575 yards, 288 of those were passing, and 287 of those were rushing. So that's a balanced attack. That's exactly what Fedora wants. Instead of doing my typical analysis in this, I'll do three things you should sell from this game and three things you should buy from this game. Number one, sell the competition. Of course, we know Idaho is not really the best team in the world. We shouldn't expect UNC to put up 60 points every time it goes out on the field. Um, yeah, I mean, UNC did its job yesterday, but don't buy too much on it. Don't ride the high too high. That's what I mean to say. No, buy the quick start. I think UNC's offense had 28 points, I think, in the first quarter. Very quick, very efficient. First game this season where we truly started great offensively. We actually scored in our first possession. I think that's the first time this season we've done that. Do buy that. I mean, offense has been very slow, so that's really good, especially going into the ACC season. Sell Renner's turnovers. I think aside for Renner's two turnovers, it was also a gas by Ebron, but we recovered that. Um, Offense looked really good. His turnovers were silly, and both times we were in, if not the red zone, the score zone, where we should have came away with points. One was a fumble. I don't know what happened, but Renner lost the ball, and after that, Idaho recovered. Um, was it the very next possession, or soon after that? Renner throws like a desperation throw right into an Idaho player, right into the arms of an Idaho player, which is like, I know we want statistics and everything, Brandon, but you still gotta be very smart in addition to fast and physical. So I think Brandon will fix that, but for right now, sell those turnovers. Buy the defense. Idaho could not do anything offensively at all. And our defense, the best part of it is that our defense did not help them. Unlike Elon, we gave up a ton of third and down plays. We didn't give up a lot of third downs at all yesterday. Idaho was 4 for 17 on third down, and that means our defense was getting it done, making the plays necessary on first and second, so they can clean it up on third, and they actually cleaned it up on third. So that's good. Sell comparing Idaho to Elon. This is another one of my favorites that I've heard from yesterday. Everybody left that game, at least from the band, saying, "Oh my gosh, Idaho would lose to Elon," and I'm thinking, I think Idaho would beat Elon. Don't compare it to just because we beat one more than we beat the other. Um, a lot of people refer to Idaho coming into this game as the best 0-4 team in the country. They did lose to Eastern Washington the first week, but they switched their quarterback, and ever since they did play well prior to yesterday, they brought the fight to Bowling Green when they flew across the country to Kentucky, and I think they lost to them by one possession. They in LSU, they were only losing to LSU by 2 touchdowns at halftime, and they bought the fight at home against Wyoming before they lost a heartbreaking overtime. Do not discredit our Tar Heels by knocking down Idaho. They're not good, but they're not as bad as people think. Um, a lot of players maturing into the system. I think people keep looking into stats and they're not buying the intangibles. Buy the intangibles. This is our fifth game into the system. I think our players are finally starting to get it right. Defensively, there were less missed assignments in the past like 9 to 10 quarters than there were like the 7 quarters prior to that. More third and longs. We're actually doing a good job on first and second downs, forcing third and longs where our defense can really get after it and fly around. Um, in Idaho's game plan, Idaho did not come in trying to hold the ball and like just do this vertical game. They came with quick screens, quick passes, all this little quick stuff that usually gives our defense a problem, but it didn't give our defense a problem yesterday. So give the defense some credit. Offensively, less self-inflicted wounds, less false start penalties, less holding penalties. The tempo is probably not near where Fedora wants it, but the tempo is improving. At least in my opinion, it seems to be improving, and that's a good thing. Um, in the game-changing plays on special teams, we saw another block at punt yesterday from Romar Morris. So the players are finally starting to get it right. Um, that's all I have for the Idaho. So let's look at the Virginia Tech whiteout game coming up this Saturday, 12:30. The kickoff time does suck, but Keenan will still be rocking over the left because it's a big ACC game, probably one of the most anticipated home games in quite some time here at UNC. Um, get a breakdown of Virginia Tech. Offense has been sketchy at best this season. There have been moments where Logan Thomas looked brilliant, and there have been times where Logan's looked like a deer in headlights. Um, so we don't know which Logan will show up. We'll probably get a little bit of both. And the offensive line is not helping, and there's not a huge rushing threat. So Thomas is forced to do it all on his own. So that's what we're getting for Virginia Tech offensively. Defensively, coming into the season, people expected this to be one of Bud Foster's best defenses at Virginia Tech. But just 2 games have said different. They have allowed, I think, at least 530 yards to Pittsburgh a few weeks ago, and then they allowed yesterday 495 yards to Cincinnati. And the defense is supposed to be the strength of this team. If when the defense caves in, the offense is not going to keep up. So that's been Virginia Tech's problem. That's the reason why they've lost 2 of their last 3. They're winning coming against Bowling Green, and Logan Thomas did not even have a good game that week. So VTech is having problems coming in. I'll give you 3 quick X factors coming into this game. I think the first X factor is definitely Gio Bernard. This is our first major game with Gio Bernard. For people who forgotten pretty quickly, we are 3-0 when Gio Bernard is playing. Our losses have been a Wake Forest game that we probably should have won without Gio Bernard. And then the second loss was the Louisville game that we were missing Bernard really bad, especially in that first half. So Gio's going to definitely have the speed to fly around and give Virginia Tech a threat. Like they're going to key in on the run, and maybe that opens up the passing game. So that's good. Second is the first half in general. The defense in the first half, in our losses, have gave up a lot of yards in the first half. So if they can hold Virginia Tech offense to like minimal gains, then they'll be fine. Offense, more the same thing. They're slow starting in the first half. If we be very efficient offensively and turn our possessions into points, we'll be fine. Survive the first half because we're pretty darn good in the second. So the first half is definitely key. 3. Who wins the special teams? Fedora is all about some offense and special teams. Frank Beamer is all about some defense and special teams. Who wins the special teams? Beamer, special teams has always been part of his motto at Virginia Tech, but they haven't really been good at it as of late. They haven't really had any game-changing plays or anything like that. And we're just starting to see some game-changing plays on special teams from Fedora here. After years of special teams being the worst phase ever, we're finally starting to get it. So I think whoever wins the special teams will also be very important to who wins in the Carolina Virginia Tech game this weekend. I think that's all I have to say for this week. Hopefully y'all learned a lot of information. I'll see y'all later. Definitely need to show up for the Virginia Tech whiteout game. I'm wearing white right now. Make sure to come out in your white shirt. Support the Hills. Beat Hokies.